Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz Sini, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. What if the reason your manifestation isn't working has nothing to do with the universe ignoring you, but everything to do with your body simply not feeling safe receiving the things that you say that you want? So many people get trapped in the same cycles. You do all the affirmations, the journaling, the energy work, the visualization, and you think you're doing everything right. But at the same time, you're feeling frustrated, exhausted, and disappointed because nothing's showing up for you. Manifestation in itself is not about pretending and saying that, oh my God, I have it already, and getting in the great vibration of everything that you want whilst feeling this falsity within your body. It's about congruence, and that means alignment of what you think and feel feels real, not fake. That fake it till you make it does not actually work when your nervous system is wired for survival mode, when you're sitting in chaos, guilt, rejection, or having the need to prove yourself to other people. You will unconsciously reject all those things that you want: peace, ease, love. Things like visibility, money, and opportunity will be out of your reach because you believe you don't deserve them. You may feel that you're broken, but you're not. Your nervous system is dysregulated and it feels unsafe. Today's core message on the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, we are going to talk about the lie that you've been sold about manifestation, how to regulate your body, how to find that inner peace, and then the work that you need to do to bring your manifestations about with ease and peace in self. Okay? If you look at a lot of the videos out there, and trust me, I've immersed myself in them. When I lost everything a few years back, one of the things that got me back on track was manifesting, right? Do the visualization work, just sit in the energy, get into the vortex, do all the aspects about it. Think positively. How many times have you heard it? Raise your vibration. Just act as if you've already got it. Okay? Vision boards work. Don't get me wrong. I love them. I run classes on them every single year. I have one in my room and I adore it. But if you don't do the identity work and the vibrational frequency aspect of it, it's just a fantasy that you're being sold on the woo-woo, when actually manifestation is really quite scientific. It is about vibration, but it is aligned vibration. You have to heal the parts of yourself that reject what you don't want. You have to really get into that emotional space and stay there. It's about deciding first and foremost what it is you want with great clarity and massive detail. This is the part of the step that a lot of people miss. They'll just go, oh, I want to manifest a car, or I want to manifest a house, but they won't know what that looks like. And the universe is not going to deliver you something that is wrong, because they would rather you have nothing at all than something that you hate the moment that you get it. And this is where we start manifesting from panic, right? Do you know the most common time people start manifesting is when they're in the depths of despair and everything's about to fall down and, oh my God, I have to have this because the old one broke, or something's going to happen, or I need a new house, or this is going on because there's drama and chaos in the world. These are non-conducive energy alignments. If you don't find peace, calm, and clarity within yourself, and you don't sit there and really discern exactly what you want, you will not create it. You cannot manifest from doom thinking. Recently, I rent a house, right? And we were thinking about possibly moving because the rent's going up a fair bit and it's getting hard in this market. And I had the choice to sit there and decide, do I want to go and move? Do I want to stay? What was the choice of what was going on? And there's this fear energy that sits behind it all. Okay. I have been homeless. It's like my worst case scenario of going back to that frequency, going back in that cycle. Before I could even think about what I was doing next, my first response was, I need to move. It's going to be too hard. There's too much burden on top of me. But it rose feelings of fear, deep-seated fear inside of me of, oh my God, what happens if I can't find a new house? It took a lot of effort to find this one. But I was totally aligned in my thinking of the desire of that house. I have no desire right now to move. I love where I live. I really do. I have so much peace and security here. I feel really safe and I have regular clients. It's a good vibration and everything is working out for me the way it is. So the decision come down to, was the increase in rent really worth the stress of going to find somewhere, of building a new energy cycle, of creating something that's working for me? Well, I decided not to change. But in doing so, I healed the deep-seated fear that, oh my God, the world's going to fall apart because I won't have a roof over my head. That doom thinking, the obsessing over the outcome, and the constant checking of, can I do this? What about this? And the desperation energy and attachment to it puts you in a hole. And most people don't realize the energy that that level sits at. And this is where they try and control things. They try and take it out of the universe's hands and demand and really put a lot of effort into doing and action taking that's not aligned. And it becomes really emotionally unavailable for them. Manifestation in itself is not about controlling the universe whatsoever. It's about listing a desire, writing it down clearly, getting very details, like very minute details about it, and then just offering it up and letting the universe show you the how. It's not about you controlling the how. And when you're in desperate measures, you're going to think of all the ways that you know how to do it. But the universe is filled with infinite possibility. But for that possibility to exist and to work in your favor, you first have to align your nervous system. Back in the day, I never knew about this myself, right? I just figured that I'll do all the inner work, I'll do the clearing and everything like that without realizing the nervous system, the body truly holds the score of everything. I was one of those people that grew up with criticism, abandonment issues, instability and insecurity, quite frankly, emotional neglect. There was so much chaos and I was surrounded by narcissistic relationships and people pleasing. They were my normal. That was the normal frequency in my body. And let me tell you, I attracted it like a master. I could find narcissistic people everywhere. I didn't realize what they were at the time, but I was surrounded by them. Of people that would use me, take advantage of me, and only take what they could get from me rather than giving anything in return. And I found receiving totally unacceptable because I had no idea of what healthy relationships were. It wasn't until about 10 to 15 years ago that I was taught kindness, and it actually broke me for a long time because I was so unused to it. And now it is the one thing that I desire, I give and accept with ease. How many people out there find relationships and friendships and they're too kind or they're too good, or, you know, the old-fashioned saying, nice guys come last. We don't like nice. We look for instability because stability in itself feels suspicious. No one can be that good. I don't know how many times I've heard it, but yes, they can. Most people think money feels unsafe. And if that is a belief that you have going on inside of you, money will become unsafe. Visibility can be dangerous, is what we get told, right? Can't have people see us because then bad things happen. These are aspects of your beliefs and your thoughts and your feelings that you have to change in order to align with new frequencies. Your mind will want expansion. That's what manifestation is all about, right? You will say out loud, I want this, I want more, I want bigger, I want better. And your body can be still preparing itself for attack. If you are in fight or flight mode, it is very hard to manifest. If you think that the world is going to be taken from you, it is extremely hard to manifest. These are non-congruent, aligned feelings. You cannot have both existing at the same time. You have to heal and release the others and do the deep work and change the thinking. This is where the affirmations start working, right? When I started manifesting, I had no idea about it. As I said, I immersed myself in the books like The Secret and the movie and all the online videos. Nowadays, there's thousands of videos out there about manifestation, and they all tell you, oh, it's so simple. Just play this sound, just do this one thing, just repeat this statement. And yes, lots of it works. And the reason why is it works by repetition. And it's through that repetition that doing the daily mantras and saying the things out loud and doing the processes and rituals that it becomes fully embedded and you start to create new beliefs. Because beliefs are just thoughts that we keep thinking. So you program new energy frequencies. But first, you have to get rid of the pattern, the old pattern. You have to scrub it, get rid of it so you don't repeat it, because that becomes self-sabotaging behavior. I'm sure you've all been there because I know I have. Things start to get great. I have to go find some way to sabotage it because that is normal. Chaos becomes addictive. This is why people go back to things like toxic exes, because you're so used to it that when someone comes along and treats you really well, you sabotage that relationship and you make it so hard and you do everything you can to push them away. That's what self-sabotage is. Not accepting what you really want because you don't believe you deserve it. It's where we start procrastinating and overthinking. It's where we stay small. We shrink ourselves down and pick emotionally unavailable people. Can't tell you how many times I used to do it and I refuse to do it anymore. We reject support from others. One of the big things about manifestation is we all want great things, and then someone comes along and offers it to you. And what does everyone do? They go, oh, no, can't do that. It's my greatest desire, but you can't let a friend or a family member give it to you because heaven forbid that's not the how that you put into place of how you wanted to receive it. That is your nervous system rejecting predictability over happiness, rejecting possibility over normalcy. We create normalcy in order to survive, because if we don't make our world and what we're living through normal, we will die. It will create depression and anxiety and all sorts of problems. But they already exist in the patterns that are trying to protect you from a version of life that you've never experienced before. To up level, to get to that next level, you have to break through barriers and sit in great discomfort. And the one thing most of us refuse to do is sit in discomfort. It's not easy. It's not easy to go from people pleasing, of doing everything for everyone else, putting yourself last, to find someone who wants to do it all for you. You will then manipulate your own thoughts into saying, oh my God, they're controlling me and they're doing this and I'm becoming codependent and I can't do that because then I can't rely on myself. And what happens when it's taken away? And you will create internal chaos. These are nervous system problems that you have to physically, mentally, and emotionally heal. It's inner work. It's delving into the consciousness and reprogramming it properly and getting clarity on why these patterns exist, on where they came from, and how you can overcome them. Okay? We all want to manifest great things. And the first thing that we do when we do it is we start thinking about what they are. So you go find a vision board or a picture of your item, put it on your screens, make a wallpaper for your phone or a wallpaper for your computer, put the imagery right in there. But you can't glue a Lamborghini onto a piece of cardboard while secretly believing you're unworthy of it. Non-congruent thinking is a total identity mismatch. It creates internal conflict. It's emotional incongruence. It does not work. And your subconscious programming will override it time and time again. We start thinking, what if doomsday thoughts? Turn it around and start thinking, what if the best thing happened? What if a stranger on the street come up because they'd won a couple of $1 billion and decided to hand out Lamborghinis and you just happened to be the person that walked by? Some of my favorite videos on the internet is there's this guy named Zach, and I can't remember his last name right now, and he goes up to strangers and says, for $5, do you want this or that? And most people ignore him, or he'll pretend to he's blind and people will ignore him. And then he hands out thousands of dollars and then GoFundMe pages for lots of different things. And these beautiful people, it is the people who have the least that are the most generous, and it does get rewarded. That is manifestation at work. But it's our fear and our lack of deserving that we hold on too tight to things that don't really matter. And it all comes from old patterns. So you may need to do some inner child healing, some subconscious work. There are plenty of tools that can help you with this. This is why I study coaching and hypnosis and NLP, Ho'oponopono, somatic releases, nervous system regulation, breath work, yoga. All of these are tools that will help you regulate your nervous system. And start thinking, what if a miracle happened and I was able to get what I wanted? What would that start looking like? What would that start feeling like? What would that do for me? This is part of the reason lots of people out in the world have manifested large money, like winning lotto or big jackpots here or there on, say, Keno or poker machines or whatever. And then the money's gone instantaneously because their nervous system was never ready for it. They went back to normalcy, to the pattern that their body, mind, and soul created through their lack of worth. In order to change things, you have to first create awareness that you have a problem and accept exactly where you are. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending to yourself. It's okay to pretend to other people, but you have to be totally and brutally honest with self. Because if you can't do that, you're never going to get anywhere. You have to process your emotions. And if you want to start wondering what emotions are causing you problems, go and look at the aches or pains that you have in your body, the little things where you may scratch here or rub there, or listen to yourself. Ask yourself, what are you feeling? Look at the boundaries that you have with other people. Find out if you actually have any nervous system safety. Are you constantly living in fight or flight mode? Do loud noises set you off? Does shouting bother you? Does the energy of other people upset you? And then you need to start rebuilding and owning your self-worth, loving yourself, accepting yourself, being kind to yourself, and embody that. And we embody that through repetition, through daily ritualistic practice. As I said, when I started manifesting, I had no idea about it, and I learned about scripting. And scripting is really powerful because you're writing the same statements multiple times a day over a period. So there was a 33/3 method and a 55/5 method that I learned. And I did this when I wanted a car. And I wrote down that I'm so grateful now that I have my ute that will get me from A to B and will do all the things that I wanted to do. And I had a very basic need of a ute because this was right after I become homeless. This was at the very beginning of when I was building myself back. So I wouldn't even give myself permission to look at a new one, heaven forbid. I just wanted an old clunky thing, and I ended up with a 2004 Holden ute that would cost me $6,000. Like, that was how much money I could conceive myself manifesting. That was the first step. And sometimes we have to do it in small increments. You are not going to go from nothing to the mansion. It's not going to happen. It has to be in step-by-step increments. You have to raise your frequency enough, get into receiving mode enough, get into worth enough of acceptance that you can have these great things. Because when you believe you're worthless, you're hopeless, and no one gives you anything and you deserve nothing, that energy is not something you can flip like that. It takes a lot of inner work. It takes a lot of tenacity. It's not magic. It's a gradual process of becoming someone who no longer abandons themselves. It's you making yourself the priority, putting yourself first, and wanting a life that usually exists on the other side of discomfort, because you are going to go through uncomfortable aspects of it. Fear is going to raise its ugly head, and you have to beat that monster. You have to change the value you put on yourself, because you will never receive more than you believe you are worth. I know that. The first car that I manifested after I lost everything was worth $6,000, and it held me instead for a lot of years. And I was so proud that I did it, that the next car that I wanted, that I manifested last year, was so much better. And it had every single detail in it that I ever wanted. And even when it come time to get that car, to bring it into my life, I still was willing to settle for less because of my unworthiness. And I had to go and pull myself up, slap myself upside the head, and demand better. And literally the perfect car for me was right on the lot where I went to look at the one that I thought I wanted. Because I had miscongruent thinking. And I just wasn't quite ready for it. But I made myself ready for it right in that moment, because I was aware of what was going on, and I was able to turn around and allow myself the grace to receive. These were patterns that I had. I have been in my life a classic self-sabotager, and sometimes I still do it. I have to stop myself doing it, because that's how I clung to survival mode, because otherwise I thought I would die. And I don't need to go through chaos and hardship and loss and all of that crap in order to exist, to have some sort of worth in this world. I come from a place of feeling totally worthless and had nothing, to rebuild, to become what I am, and getting stronger and better each and every day, because I am brutally honest with myself. I hold myself accountable. I do the inner work. I cry, I rail, I scream, I get it out. I do what I have to do in order to seek emotional freedom without holding on to fear, because it's all that I knew. Trust me, it was all that I knew for a long time in my life. And now the one thing that I hold on to most is peace and grace, and just this beautiful gratitude for everything that I am, of how I show up each day, of who I have become, and the identity I choose daily. We all have bad days, don't get me wrong. I've had a couple of bad days this week. I get headaches from the weather, but all I did was give myself permission to rest. No beat down, no nothing, time out. And it's really hard for a lot of people to do that. And this is where I know my manifestations are no longer blocked, and that my nervous system is at peace, and that regulation is happening. Because as I step into that alignment, I start getting more bookings. I start getting more clients to work with, and I start attracting the people and the resources that I need in order to get ahead. Because I made ease my new normal. I made it so easy that I put out a request out there and it is answered instantaneously. And yes, sometimes I'll do rituals. Sometimes I'll go and burn bay leaves with my manifestations. Other times, one of my favorite things is It Is Done by Neville Goddard. It is done. Everything that I want is right in my bank account. It is right there. The clients that I want and desire are here. It is done. I have bookings in my calendar. I have coaching clients that want to work with me. Shine with Shaz is filled with beautiful people. These are ritualistic sayings that I say over and over again, and then I get new bookings, and then I get new people, and then I get new powerful other women ready to rise up, let go of what was, knowing full well I can nurture them through it. Can't do the work for you, but I will hold your hand on that journey, guide the way, shine the light, and give you the tools and outcomes that you need to get what you desire. Because sometimes that outcome is hard to get by ourselves and we need assistance. When your nervous system has spent years and years learning that struggle is normal, ease, quite frankly, can be really dangerous. And the nervous system panics and we create disease. We feel like we're failing, but we're not. We are breaking through. We are rebirthing. We are regenerating. We are learning something new that is so different and embodying an identity that is powerful, unique, and yours, not the build-up and makeup of what other people tried to make you to be. You can have it all, but first you have to regulate your nervous system, yourself, peel back the layers, get brutal with yourself, and then choose what you want, not what other people tell you you have to have. The inner work's the easy part once you know how. And it's even easier when you do it in a group environment and you've got collective people supporting you, cheering you on and helping you peel back those layers. You can do it. It's available to you. You just have to decide you're worth it. If this episode has hit home with you, please share it with someone who keeps blaming themselves for being stuck. And if you're really ready to stop surviving and start creating a life that actually feels aligned, come and explore Shine with Shaz with me or one-on-one coaching work. You too can have everything you desire. I never thought I could. I honestly thought my life would always sit in chaos. And lately it is so free, it is so beautiful. I'm surrounded by magnificent women, and everyone that I help overcome what they're going through to become who they can be livens me. It enlightens my heart and it fills my soul on a level so deep I can't even express it fully. So pay attention to what you want and your desires and know that you are worth everything this world has to offer. You deserve it and you can have it too. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.